Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on your location in the world right now. Hi, it's David Keratin. I just thought I'd jump on. Very exciting very short post today around the Schumann Resonance, just backing up what we've been talking about in the last few days, especially around the full moon. I did a full post on that if you'd like to have a look at that. You can see that it's on my channel, and also there's another post I did yesterday, I think it was, in respect of the Divine Feminine and the sacred number 13. But this one today is very short, and I think most of you will be aware of the Schumann Resonance, but if you're not, take a look at this. This is pretty unreal, so I'm going to do a share screen. Well, firstly, actually, let's have a look at just to recap on the chart. I've taken out or stripped out most of the planets in here, so it's not as busy as the other day, which isn't to say that they don't exist, but of course, this is just for illustration purposes. Again, just to show we're still in the halo effect, or we're under the very direct effects of this full moon. Just a very quick recap. Here we go with the opposition, the white moon, the black moon in opposition. This is black moon Lilith. You can see actually how this has been recorded January 29, 1:30 a.m. in the morning. Again, the longitude and latitude is Washington, D.C. So this is Eastern Daylight Time, basically 1:30 a.m. on the 29th of January 2021, which for those numerology buffs, you'll know that you reduce numbers, so 2 plus 9 is 11, but master numbers you do not reduce. So from a numerology perspective, today is pretty powerful in terms of 11 or 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1 if you drop out the 0. So 1, 1, 29 becomes 11. So we have 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 1. And when we add all of those numbers up, if you take 11, which in numerology, you don't reduce the 11, you retain it. But 11 plus 1 is 12, 14, 16, 17 is a beautiful number today. And we'll take a quick look at that number and say that I jump all over the place with the intersections and the overlaps between astrology, galactic astrology, numerology, tarot, and tree of life and spiritual alchemy. It's all blended. But look, just a quick recap. I mentioned the other day that I said that there was going to be an incredible amount of energy coming from here, this Uranian Mars energy that's paired up in Aries in the galactic zodiac. If you're hearing this for the first time, I use the 13-wheel system. For those who've been following my blogs, you'll know that in the Western astrology, Uranian and Mars energy is paired up in Taurus. In the galactic astrology, in the true galactic astrology, the organic astrology, the natural astrology, these two here are throwing up an incredible amount of energy to this full moon. And I'll show you the Schumann Resonance. If you've not seen the chart for overnight, it is just absolutely mind-blowing. But just to put this in context, we've got this incredible electrification and amplified by the Mars. That's a very potent and powerful energy. Uranian energy is, again, to recap, is 16 in the tarot. Lightning strikes the Tower of Babel. The Tower of Babel is Saturnian energy, and this is Saturn's home Capricorn, which in the galactic zodiac is currently hosting this phenomenal full moon and stellium. And we can see actually just with a few hours that we've actually got Jupiter at 9 minutes 27 at the precise moment that I'm doing this blog. We've got Jupiter at 9 minutes 27, 9 degrees 27 Capricorn. We've got Lilith at 9 degrees 29, and we've got the Sun at 9 degrees 37. So they are effectively all on top of one another. And here's Saturn just to the left. So the four of those, Saturn's only 4 degrees away. The four of those are forming a stellium, and we've got this black moon, white moon opposition, and that's the full moon. And we've got this Uranian-Mars energy in a square relationship, throwing this incredible high frequency vibratory energy. Remember that Uranian energy is in the galactic astrology with the a sign of a fucus inserted as the 9th house. So Uranian energy is Aquarian energy. That's the 12th house and the 13th house wheel. So this is very high frequency. And let's just take a look. I'm going to do a new share and have a look at the Schumann Resonance. If you've not seen this, I'll provide some links to this information below. If you've never heard of the Schumann Resonances, well, this will be new to you, but I'm going to, rather than explain it, I'm just going to show it. I'm going to touch on a few bits and pieces about the Schumann Resonance, but I encourage you to go and do your own research. This is true scientific data. This is coming out of one of the space stations, and they measure the Schumann Resonance. And this just validates this. Whenever you see a whiteout like this, I mean, this is unbelievable. I track the Schumann Resonance every day and have done for about the last 18 months. Unfortunately, it would be too difficult to show going back 18 months. But the web link or the URL that I'll provide below in the show notes will take you into some historical data and some background information. I just wanted to touch on this because this absolutely confirms what we were looking at as potential from the astrological perspective. This is massive. So what is the Schumann Resonance, and why can we be so excited about this as a scientific validation that indeed there is a lot going on in consciousness? So Schumann Resonance, when we get white, that's what they call intense. Remember, this is coming from a space. This is space station information. Intense EMP or electromagnetic pulse or ionospheric plasma excitations. Now, I make absolutely no claims, guys, to be a scientist or anything else, but it's pretty clear what's happening here intuitively. Intense EMPs in the Earth's ionosphere, and this is affecting our personal resonance. So what is the Schumann Resonance? Some call it the heartbeat of Mother Earth. This is taken straight out of Wikipedia. The Schumann Resonances are a set of spectrum peaks in the extremely low frequency ELF portion of the Earth's electromagnetic spectrum. Schumann resonances are global electromagnetic resonances generated and excited by lightning discharges in the cavity formed by the Earth's surface and the ionosphere. Uranian energy, lightning energy, and enlightenment energy, and I talk a lot about that in that blog with the new moon. From the very beginning of Schumann resonance studies, it was known that they could be used to monitor global lightning activity. At any given time, there are about 2,000 thunderstorms around the globe, producing approximately 50 lightning events every second. These thunderstorms are causally linked to the background Schumann resonance signal from Wikipedia, and here's a graphic. So our beautiful planet Gaia and the ionosphere and the cavity where the Schumann resonance is recorded. This is the frequencies of the planet, that in between space. I'd encourage you to do your own research on this, but this is pretty amazing scientific validation of just very high frequency electromagnetic waves hitting the planet right now. And for those of us light workers and starseeds, these are very exciting times. So I appreciate that on the 3D level, there are some things that are very frustrating at the moment, but from the high frequency and eventually, as I talked about yesterday, with the divine Sophia and the antimatter realms, things happen in the non-seen and in the higher frequencies, and then they eventually cascade down. That energy has to move its way down into form, into the Saturnian form structures. So take a look at this. Now, Schumann resonance waves in the Earth's magnetic field, they actually overlap with our brain waves. So we are, of course, vibrating at a particular frequency. I think most of you will be aware of that. But the fundamental Schumann resonance is 7.83 Hertz, and it corresponds to the higher theta brainwave stage or brainwave range. All through the day, we move through different brainwave states, and the hertz or the cycles per second is the number of cycles that your brain is operating at. And obviously, gamma is the highest frequency. This is when we get expanded insight and consciousness. This is the transcendent state. This is the highly, this is beyond time and space. There's been lots of studies done, and in fact I write about this in my book, but there's been lots of studies done of the Zen Buddhists and the lifetime meditators in both the West and the East, and they, when you transcend and you reach 0 point, using magnetic resonance imaging, MRIs, and different scan technologies that we've got available to us in the 21st century, they wire these individuals up and they ask them to go into these meditative states, and they can track the brain activity. And gamma is and you'll see why I'm talking about that in a moment with the Schumann resonance. It's very difficult to see the frequency hertz down the side here, but gamma frequency is the highest brain frequency. This is basically God consciousness. This is source consciousness. This is well beyond the veil. This is 0 point energy right here, and I'll come back to that in a moment. And then there's these other brainwave states. This isn't a exercise or a learning today, but there's lots and lots of information on the net about the various brainwave states, alpha, theta, delta, and gamma. So I'll leave that there. Encourage you to do some research. Dr. Joe Dispenza is my favourite, who talks about this. Not sure if he's a starseed, but the way that he talks, you think that he definitely is. He's definitely spiritual. There's no question about that. And he talks extensively about all of this, how to create by getting into the theta state, the dreaming states. There are others that talk about this as well. The flow states of creativity. Stephen Kotler, the Flow Genome Project, they're all over this as well. Jamie Wheel's another one. Dr. Bruce Lipton. There are numerous absolutely fantastic YouTube thought leaders and doctors and spiritual leaders and white hats that are all talking about this. So I'll leave that there. But the gamma, why I'm doing this post, is that gamma brainwave states, you'll see here that the frequency or the hertz of it is 30 hertz to 100 hertz. So when we look at, so this is 0 point energy. This is coming from the ionosphere, right? This is outside of the Earth's, Earth itself, and then the ionosphere. This is very high in the atmosphere. And these lightning strikes, which correspond, of course, in the astrology to the Uranian-Mars combination, striking the lightning strikes at Tower of Babel. There is no coincidences here. But when we look at, and you'll see this up, you can screen grab this when you go to the links, which I'll provide, that whiteout is in this gamma frequency. You can see down the left here that it's got up as high as 36 hertz, which is gamma, and 30 hertz to 100 hertz corresponds to the gamma brainwaves. This is associated with simultaneously processing information in both brain hemispheres. So whales and dolphins operate in that frequency range. It's a comment from Joe Dispenza, who I mentioned before. Increases in frequency create increases in consciousness, and when our consciousness increases, we have greater awareness, and that's what the gamma brainwaves are. Gamma brainwaves, which can be more than twice as high as beta brainwaves, represent an aroused state in the brain. However, they are not connected to the survival states of the monkey brain, the limbic brain, but they're correlated to a kind of superconscious awareness, as well as higher amounts of love and compassion. As the earth goes through her metamorphosis, maybe we too must transition through this time of emotional intensity related to beta brainwaves before we enter a new consciousness of gamma. And wouldn't that upgrade our nervous system and expand our perception and awareness of reality? And that's a direct quote from Dr. Joe Dispenza. Just a little bit of background on how often this happens. So on January 31st, 2017 was the first time in recorded history that the Schumann Resonance ever reached the gamma frequencies of 36 plus. It was considered an anomaly in 2014 when this happened, but we've just seen it again. It's a more than 5-fold increase in the resonant frequency levels that we normally see the planet vibrating at and the ionosphere vibrating at. So join the dots, team. It's an amazing what's going on. And it will affect the 3D level of form eventually. There's just no way that the darkness can stand up to this. There's just no freaking way. When the Schumann resonance spikes, this affects our third eye and pineal gland. According to neuroscience, frequency recordings of 36 plus in the human brain are more associated with a stressed nervous system than a relaxed and healthy one. Well, that stress is because the third eye and the crown chakra and everything is getting activated, and most of us aren't used to vibrating at those sorts of levels. But the good news here, as I said yesterday and have said throughout my posts, is that if you want to take advantage of this amazing ascension energy, the jet streams are there. It's awesome energies. And you can tap into some very high frequency consciousness right now, especially through the third eye and the crown. For those who are, there are some who are vibrating even higher than that. This is this 5D, 6D energy. Some spikes may help to clear blockages. They certainly expand our consciousness and awareness. And why are we seeing spikes? It is believed that the Schumann resonances are Q bursts. Interesting, Q bursts. Not that I'm saying anything there, but just funny that comes up. Scientific term, are related to the transient luminous events, what they call TLEs. The TLEs are intense lightning plasma excitations that can be caused by intense thunderstorms, solar activity, solar winds and solar flares, geomagnetic disturbances resulting from solar activity. Some speculate that scalar technologies may affect Schumann resonance or energy bursts of unknown origin. This is all coming from Wikipedia. Some speculate that human consciousness en masse can also affect it. And the last little that I just want to touch on is this one. I said before that the numbers add up to 17, and I just thought I'd end this on just a quick look at 17 in the tarot. Believe that you are the star open to divine inspiration. Know you will succeed. Good things are coming. The star is one of the most positive cards in the deck. It follows the transformative energy of chaos and provides the clarity to pursue dreams with hope and optimism to reach your highest potential. This card represents elevated consciousness that sparks the creative energy, providing a promise that one can reach the highest potential because the future is hopeful and fulfilling. The star embodies trust in yourself and in the universe. This card represents healing from chaos and inspiration to achieve one's hopes and dreams. In tarot of empowerment, The star card shows a woman inspired to dream her future. The physical self is reflected in the stars of her desires. Vision is clear and focused on her aspirations and goals. She feels and accepts spiritual guidance as she opens to the divine. The stars shine beyond limits. When you see a star or get a star in a reading, and as I said, the numbers, when you add them up, 17, you have achieved a sense of calm and grace because you know you are connected to the universal source. Now, by opening to the divine within, you will be inspired with gentle passion as your highest good floods its fullest expression. This card promises success in your future. Have the courage to follow your inspirations. You are directly connected to source. And with that, have a wonderful day. Namaste.